At Hope's wedding, dream shattered, Beth becomes the unexpected witness to Liam's secret encounter. The anticipation surrounding Hope Logan and Liam Spencer's upcoming wedding had reached fever pitch at Forrester Creations. After years of heartbreak, betrayal, and one failed marriage, the couple had finally found their way back to each other, and everyone in Los Angeles seemed invested in their happiness. Hope had never looked more radiant as she worked with the team to prepare for her big day. While Liam couldn't contain his excitement about finally making Hope his wife again, their daughter, Beth, now 9 years old, had already claimed the role of officiant at the ceremony. Thrilled beyond measure at the prospect of her parents becoming a complete family once more. But what no one could have anticipated was that Ivy Forrester, the Australian jeweler with a complicated history in Los Angeles, was about to become the instrument of chaos that would unravel everything. The unwanted visitor. Just days before the wedding was scheduled to take place, Ivy made an unexpected appearance at one of Los Angeles's most upscale boutique hotels. Her arrival in the city had been quiet. She'd slipped back into town without much fanfare, but her presence sparked immediate interest among those who remembered her tumultuous past. Ivy had once shared a passionate connection with Liam years ago, and though that chapter of their lives had long since closed, old feelings have a way of resurfacing when given the opportunity. When Ivy learned that Liam was finally marrying Hope, something within her shifted. Perhaps it was jealousy, perhaps it was the realization that her window of opportunity with Liam had permanently closed. Whatever the reason, Ivy made a calculated decision to confront him. Before his wedding day arrived, she tracked Liam down at Spencer Publications, catching him between meetings. The encounter was intense from the moment she walked through his office door. Ivy had always possessed a magnetic quality, confident, adventurous, and unafraid to take risks, but Liam, despite whatever residual emotions might have existed, was committed to his path with Hope. He tried to remain professional and cordial, but Ivy pushed further. "I just need to know something." "Liam," Ivy said, her Australian accent as captivating as ever before, "you walked down that aisle. Do you really feel nothing for what we had? Can you honestly stand there and tell me that there's not a part of you that wonders, what if?" Liam shook his head firmly. "Ivy, we've been through this. What we had was in the past. I love Hope. I'm committed to my family. This isn't up for discussion." But Ivy wasn't ready to accept his answer. As Liam turned to leave, she made a desperate grab for his arm, then pulled him toward her in an attempt to kiss him. It was impulsive and inappropriate, a last-ditch effort to spark something between them that had already burned out years ago. The moment everything changed, what neither Ivy nor Liam realized was that Beth had come to the office to surprise her father. She'd asked her mother if she could visit Liam at work, wanting to show him something she'd drawn for their wedding flowers. The 9-year-old entered the office just as Ivy's lips met Liam's in that unauthorized kiss. Beth's eyes went wide in that single moment, her innocent understanding of the world fractured. All she knew was that her daddy was kissing someone who wasn't her mommy, and it was happening just days before they were supposed to get married. Her heart sank, and without saying a word, she turned and ran from the office, tears streaming down her face. She found Hope at home, sitting in the living room with fabric samples for her bouquet. Beth immediately rushed into her arms, breathing heavily, her little face flushed with emotion and confusion. "Mommy, I saw something bad." Beth blurted out between sobs. "I went to see Daddy at his office and there was a lady, I think her name is Ivy, and she kissed him, Mommy. Daddy was kissing her." Hope's entire body went rigid. Every color drained from her face as she listened to her daughter recount what she'd witnessed. The wedding fabric samples fell from her lap, forgotten on the floor. The confrontation when Liam arrived home that evening, eager to discuss the final wedding details. He was met with a silence so deafening it felt like a physical force. Hope sat on the couch, her arms crossed, her eyes red from crying. Beth was nowhere to be seen. Hope had sent her to bed after giving her a gentle talk about how sometimes grown-ups make mistakes. "We need to talk," Hope said coldly. Liam knew immediately that something was terribly wrong. "What happened? What's going on?" "Beth came to see you at the office today," Hope stated flatly. "She saw you kissing Ivy." Liam's face went pale. He opened his mouth to respond, but no words came. The look of confusion, then realization, then guilt that crossed his features told Hope everything she needed to know in that moment. "It's not what it looked like," Liam finally managed to say, his voice desperate. "Ivy came to the office. She was upset about the wedding. She came on to me and in a moment of, confusion. I didn't pull away fast enough but hope I didn't kiss her back. I didn't want that to happen. You didn't pull away fast enough. Hope's voice was sharp as a blade. Liam, you're an adult. You could have stopped her before her lips even came close to yours, I know, and I should have, Liam said, moving toward her, but the point is that it meant nothing. It was just a moment. You have to believe me. Hope stood up abruptly, moving away from him. I can't believe anything right now. For yours, Liam, I've been trying to trust you. I forgave you for Thomas, I forgave you for Steffi. I've forgiven you for so many things because I wanted us to work. I wanted to believe that we could finally be happy together as a family, and now this, Hope, please. Liam pleaded, don't do this. Don't throw away what we've built because of a moment of weakness, Hope laughed bitterly. The wedding is in 3 days. Liam, our daughter was the one who had to see her father cheating on her mother. How do you think that made her feel? Do you have any idea what this has done to her? Liam reached for Hope's hand, but she pulled away. I can't marry you, she said quietly. I'm calling off the wedding. No, don't say that, Liam said, desperation flooding his voice. Let me explain everything. Let me make this right. But Hope had already turned away. Her decision made. She walked into their bedroom and closed the door, leaving Liam standing alone in the living room. The weight of his mistake crashing down upon him like a tidal wave. The aftermath, the cancellation of Hope and Liam's wedding, sent shockwaves through Los Angeles. Gossip spread like wildfire through the halls of Forrester Creations and Spencer Publications. Everyone wanted to know what had happened. Some blamed Ivy for her reckless behavior. Others placed the fault squarely on Liam's shoulders for not protecting his commitment. Perhaps this was a sign that Hope and Liam were never meant to be together despite their long history. Beth, caught in the middle of the adult drama, struggled to understand what was happening. She had been so excited to officiate her parents' wedding, and now she was somehow the reason it had fallen apart. The guilt weighed on her young shoulders. Even though Hope repeatedly assured her that none of this was her fault, Hope remained firm in her decision, despite Liam's continued attempts to make her understand. He sent flowers, he left voicemails. He even showed up at the office, but Hope refused to see him. The trust that had taken so long to rebuild had been shattered in a single moment, and she couldn't find it in herself to repair it again. Ivy, realizing the damage she had caused, quietly slipped back out of Los Angeles as quickly as she had arrived. There was no redemption for her in this situation, only the cold reality that some actions have consequences that can't be undone. The bold and the beautiful's most anticipated wedding of the season had come to an abrupt and devastating end, leaving everyone to wonder if Hope and Liam would ever find their way back to each other again, or at this time, the damage was simply too much to overcome. Next, we will dive into the shocking twists brewing in The Bold and the Beautiful as John Finn Finnegan and Steffi Forster Finnegan brace for yet another unexpected revelation that could reshape their family dynamics forever in the ever-tumultuous world of Los Angeles high society, where secrets unravel like threads from a designer gown. Finn and Steffi have withered storms from abductions to betrayals, but the latest whispers point to a bombshell involving the unlikeliest of allies. Picture this: Lee Finnegan, the steadfast doctor who once wielded her scalpel like disdain with precision, stepping up to champion Sheila Sharp's place in the family fold. It's a plot twist straight out of a daytime drama scriptwriter's wildest dreams, hinting at redemption arcs that could either heal old wounds or ignite fresh infernos as the Forrester and Logan clans navigate their intricate web of alliances. Lee's evolving stance on Sheila raises eyebrows, suggesting a profound shift in loyalties that might just force Finn and Steffi to reconsider their ironclad boundaries. Reflecting on the fiery history between Lee and Sheila, one can't help but recall the venomous rivalry that defined their early clashes, a saga as explosive as the high-stakes corporate takeovers at Forrester Creations. Lee's loathing for Sheila ran deeper than the Pacific Ocean currents, rooted in a series of harrowing events that left indelible scars on her soul. The infamous alley ambush behind El Giordino still haunts fans' memories. Sheila's deranged ambush nearly claimed Finn and Steffi's lives, with shadows lurking in the dim back streets as gunfire echoed like thunder. But that was merely the prelude. The real terror unfolded in a high-speed car pursuit through the winding canyons, where Sheila's reckless pursuit ended in a cataclysmic explosion that engulfed Lee's vehicle in flames, leaving her battered, bandaged and broken in a hospital bed that mirrored her shattered trust in those dark days. Lee vowed eternal enmity, her eyes flashing with the fury of a woman who'd stared death in the face. Convinced Sheila's malevolence was an incurable affliction, therapists might analyze it as post-traumatic rage, but for Lee, it was survival instinct sharpened to a lethal edge, making any notion of reconciliation seem as improbable as Rich Forrester abandoning his signature suits. Yet in the unpredictable tapestry of B&B narratives, where villains morph into anti-heroes overnight, Lee and Sheila's transformation from sworn adversaries to tentative confidants defies all logic and adds layers of intrigue to their characters. Their bond forged not in forgiveness, but in shared vulnerability blooms unexpectedly amid the chaos of family revelations. Enter Luna Nozawa, the mutual granddaughter, whose very existence acts as a cosmic glue, pulling these polar opposites into an orbit of reluctant unity. Luna's arrival with her wide-eyed innocence and tangled heritage has forced Lee to confront her own hypocrisies. After all, Lee's past decisions regarding Luna drew sharp criticism from Finn, echoing the judgment she'd once hurled at Sheila. Now in quiet moments over herbal teas at Lee's sleek Malibu home, the two women exchange stories of maternal heartaches, from Sheila's infamous prison escapes to Lee's regrets over missed opportunities with her son. This newfound solidarity isn't without tension. Lee still pauses when Sheila's old habits surface, like her veiled warnings about protecting Deacon Sharp from interlopers. But where once Lee would have recoiled in horror, she now offers a knowing nod, perhaps drawing from her own journey of atonement, envisioning a future where both can rewrite their legacies side by side. Delving deeper into their evolving alliance, Lee's willingness to humanize Sheila's darker impulses reveals a nuanced character arc that enriches the show's exploration of redemption. Fans have buzzed online about Lee's subtle defenses, like when Sheila casually mentioned offing Taylor Hayes over any romantic encroachments on Deacon, a line that once would have triggered Lee's alarm bells into a full siren wail. Instead, Lee arched a perfectly groomed brow, then softened as Sheila dismissed it as hyperbolic flair from her wilder days, insisting her reformation was as genuine as a diamond from Hope's jewelry line. This trust-building exchange, played out in the sterile glow of Lee's clinic waiting room, underscores Lee's growth. She's no longer the black and white by empathy, recognizing that flaws aren't monopolized by the likes of Sheila. As their daily check-ins evolve into heartfelt strategy sessions on navigating family politics, Lee's empathy could propel her toward bolder advocacy, perhaps lobbying the Forresters at a tense gathering to view Sheila through a lens of second chances, rather than suspicion. Imagine Lee with her authoritative poise articulating how Sheila's devotion to Luna mirrors the fierce protectiveness that defines all the women in their circle, turning skeptics like Brooke into reluctant listeners. Building on this momentum, Lee's protective instincts might soon extend to orchestrating intimate encounters that bridge the generational divide, starting with the tiniest. Forrester heirs envision Lee ever the mediator in her white coat and pearls, proposing supervised playdates at the Forrester mansion, sun-drenched nursery, where Hayes Forrester Finnegan's giggles could melt the frostiest reservations. Hayes, with his tousled curls and boundless energy, represents the innocent core of the family, and Lee's push for Sheila's involvement might stem from her desire to atone for her Luna mishaps, those missteps that fractured her bond with Finn, leaving her sidelined during family holidays, extending the olive branch to Kelly Spencer as well, perhaps during a beach outing in Santa Monica where seashells and laughter intermingle. Lee could frame it as therapeutic healing for everyone involved. Critics might whisper that Lee's overreaching, but she'd counter with tales of her own reconciliation efforts, drawing parallels to Eric Forrester's enduring optimism. This initiative wouldn't just be logistical, it would be Lee's manifesto for inclusivity, arguing that excluding Sheila risks repeating the cycles of pain that have plagued the Logans and Forresters for decades, potentially unveiling hidden depths in Sheila's psyche that surprise even the most jaded viewers. At the heart of this seismic shift lies the profound shockwaves it would send through Finn and Steffi's meticulously guarded world, where trust is as fragile as a crystal vase in a Hope-designed showroom. Finn, still nursing emotional bruises from Sheila's past manipulations, might freeze mid-sentence during a family dinner at the Cliff House, his medical mind racing to process Lee's impassioned plea for leniency. Steffi, ever the vigilant guardian with her yoga-toned resolve, would likely cross her arms in disbelief, her piercing gaze demanding explanations from the woman she once saw as an unyielding pillar against chaos. This reversal paints Lee as the wild card, the last ally they'd anticipate in Sheila's corner, especially after Lee's history of fierce condemnations that bolstered their united front. Yet if Sheila maintains her fragile peace, steering clear of her signature schemes like anonymous threats or shadowy stakeouts, Lee's influence could sway the tide, fostering awkward but pivotal moments where grandchildren's hugs dissolve decades of distrust in true B&B fashion. This could culminate in a cliffhanger revelation, perhaps a heartfelt letter from Hayes, unknowingly bridging the gap, forcing Finn and Steffi to confront whether family truly means forgiving the unforgivable. As these threads weave tighter, the implications ripple across the canvas of the bold and the beautiful, promising episodes laced with emotional depth and dramatic flair that keep audiences glued to their screens. Lee's crusade isn't just about Sheila. It's a testament to the show's enduring theme of transformation, where even the most hardened hearts can soften under the weight of shared bloodlines and unspoken regrets. Stay tuned to the B&B Spoilers channel for more on how this alliance might upend the Forrester empire, delivering the heart-pounding suspense we all crave.